Welcome to the Billionaire Business Builders Book Club. This is one of my favorite clubs that I get to run because every single month, the only people who are engaging and activating and doing stuff with this are the people like you and me. People who are out there going, I am building a billion-dollar business. Watch me grow. So I'm excited for this because I love connecting with you guys. And this month's book, I think, is probably one of the best for this whole concept of building a billion-dollar business. And it's this book called Mr. Schmooze by Richard Abraham. I always have to check because I don't bother looking at the author's names very often. Anyhow, so the book is called Mr. Schmooze. And if you've read Ken Blanchard or you've read... really Ken Blanchard. A lot of Ken Blanchard books are basically an allegory. It's or whatever it's called, where it's a story with a moral. That's basically what that is, and that's what Mr. Schmooze is too, which makes it super easy to read. Super easy to read, super easy to understand. So I love this because it's a story. You just kind of blow through it, and you pick up good tips and tricks regardless. And one of my favorite things, so let me actually back that one up. The whole idea behind this is you're following Mr. Schmooze, who is this super top executive. He's a business consultant. He goes in and he consults with the sales teams to help them increase their sales. Now, Mr. Schmooze isn't for real, but you know, the concept is, and he's constantly helping them take their sales to bigger and better platforms. And it's all about relationship selling, which I think is great because this book, let me look up. This book is from a while ago. It's not necessarily a brand new book. Okay, well, copyright 2010. So maybe it's not that old. Anyhow, it seems, I guess from the cover, I assumed it was older. But it's actually a fairly recent book, I suppose. And the realization is that sales is not what it used to be. Sales is no longer about who has the slickest pitch and who has the best looking website and who has the best looking videos. The truth is we have technology at our fingertips that people even 10 years ago had no concept of or connection to. And so anybody can have a sleek video, anybody can have a really cool looking website, but not everybody can build a relationship. And that's where we're at. None of us want to be sold. We want to have relationships. And when you build relationships, when you truly build great relationships, you get sales out of it. And so that's what this guy does. And he talks about how do you take it to the next level. And it's been interesting because I read it a few months ago, but I've been able to see how it's made a difference just in like the little things, the everyday stuff, right? So I would go into a sales meeting and instead of going into my normal manner, I would sit there and be like, okay, well, hold on. So how can I elevate this, right? So he talks about, that's one of his big concepts, is elevating it. And I think, I can't remember what he actually calls it now, but regardless, they call it really basically take it to the next level. So he takes this entire sales crew through this entire concept, trying to next level or up level what they were about to do for a executive at Coca-Cola or a soft drink company and the executive's son, and taking the son golfing because the kid's a golf enthusiast. But more than just taking the kid golfing, what about, how do we next level this? Well, what if we take the kid golfing and we take his best friend golfing at the best golf green in the area? Okay, great. So let's make the reservation to take the executive and his son's best friend golfing at this great golf green. How else could we next level it? Well, let's, instead of just going golfing, let's take him out for lunch, either before or after we hit the green. And let's arrange to have some golf pros drop by the table and see the kid, just give the kid some pointers that day. Oh, and you know what? Why don't we arrange for a lesson with one of the pros that actually works at the country club? Oh, and you know what? While we're at it, why don't we send, this is literally the conversation. Let's send them golf balls that are, labeled with these kids. Let's send them towels. Let's send them this. And so they find this way to completely next level their sales. And when I've told a couple of people about that, the first response I've gotten is, well, Stephanie, my sales are not $1 million sales. I can't afford to do all that kind of stuff. Okay, that's cool. You can still afford to show up with, a water and a soda and just be like, hey, I didn't know what you wanted, but I was stopping for something. I thought I'd bring you something too. And give them both to the person, right? They may not drink either of them, but what they just got was, hey, this person just thought about me. Wow. and they went out of their way above and beyond for me. And so I want to encourage you guys, grab a copy. It's a short read, but it will completely change not just how you do sales, but it will also change how you're building relationships around you, because you never know when some of those relationships you're building or not building could be the difference between success or what's that not success word? Failure. So go out there, make it $1 billion month.